a citizen who claims to have been a victim of fraud at the National Service Secretariat. He has written a lengthy letter. So we'll be going through that letter and also have a conversation with him on the phone to understand what exactly his concerns are and his experience. He talks about being able to receive some allowances, although he hasn't performed any duties as a National Service personnel. So we'll be delving into that. And once we have the Deputy Director of the National Service Secretariat here, we will ask him how they are taking up this matter. And I'll also look at issues surrounding Ibrahim Mahama, the brother of former President GHOne Mahama. Now, the GRA has given him a 2-week ultimatum to settle his $10 million debt. And so we'll do that. We'll look at these two issues right here on State of Affairs. Let me welcome my guests into the studio. Nana, good evening. Good to see you. Good evening. It's been a while. The last time you were still in the campaign mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the last time, yes. Hasn't it been a while?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Over 3 months, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. You look good in a way.
Thank you. Lawyer.
Yeah. Yes.
Nana is already alleging that you authored this letter that we are about to look at.
I'm surprised at this wild allegation. I don't author letters. What I do is to speak out. I hardly write.
Indeed.
Yes, I speak out my voice, and people hear me.
Or you make sure that a rate is issued.
A rate is issued, yeah. So I don't hide behind people.
Anyway, what I was saying was that because when you gave it to me, I didn't see any name.
Yes.
So I said it could have been written by Maliva.
Yeah.
That was what I said. That is not to say
and
that
he's also a citizen.
Yes.
Allegedly. Well, we decided to...
I am a citizen, it's not alleged.
As in, he was alleging that you authored the letter.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. We decided to keep his name out, but I'm sure later on you have some interactions with him in following up on this matter. And so...
so he's watching the program?
He is watching the program. He will join us over the phone. What he is saying is that there's some form of corruption at the National Service Secretariat, and he claims that January 2017, that's this year, he had a call from a young man who addressed himself as a staff of the National Service Secretariat. And the person asked him whether he was undertaking his national service. And being a graduate, he claims that he was evasive because he didn't know who this person was and what his intentions were. And he calmed him down and offered to help him get a certificate, a National Service certificate, proving that he has completed his service. And so that is how this young man who authored this letter came into contact with a person he claims to be a staff of the National Service Secretariat. We'll be talking to him on the phone, and he claims that he's been receiving some allowances, 599 Ghana cedis for some time now. And so we'll be having a conversation with him. We will get to understand how much he has received so far. Thankfully, he has joined us on the phone. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on State of Affairs. Tell us briefly how you came into contact with this person who claims to be a staff of the National Service Secretariat.
Well, fact is that as I indicated in my article, I completed school for some years now. I have worked, and over the years I haven't done my service, so I set myself what I needed to do this, so I set out to do that. And basically, I've been back and forth and all that, but to cut other frustrating aspects of it short. Now, one time I had picked a car, dropping, I was going somewhere when I had a call from a gentleman. I could tell from the voice, I never met him anywhere. And then what he said was, he asked me that if I was doing my service, and as the interaction wore on, I was a bit evasive. Now, what to tell the one? He calmed me down and said, wait a minute, this is what I can do for you. Now, you will not do your service, but you could come to some terms. What is going to happen is that, you'll get a certificate, all right, but you will do your service, but you'll be drawing your allowance. That allowance, what is going to happen in the terms is that you take a percentage and then I'll take the rest. He told me that his boss had, as the interaction wore on, he told me that his boss had given him 5 people. Of the 5 people, 4 people had accepted. And he knew that I was going to accept. As the interaction wore on, I had picked dropping, so I thought I'll call him back. Somehow he sensed some frustration in my voice and all that. So I said I'll call back. A week after, I never called. A week after, he called me. And to my surprise, he had put me in the system. And he told me, wait a minute, go and check this January, you were able to withdraw that one. And I was angry. I mean, wait a minute, what you were even talking, we couldn't see any conclusion. It's just in the system. Over time, I checked, and, indeed, the truth, I want to pick the chip, because I can't take it. I mean, it's not my money. I checked, and there was money in it. I checked another one, there was money. And the third one, there was money. So, again, as you want, of course, we also wanted this part of it. And it's not something I can do.
And how long have you been receiving the allowances from the National Service Secretariat?
I think I picked 3 chips. I suppose there should be more if I should check. I picked 3 chips. Okay?
3 checks?
3. I mean, the coupon. I mean, I go to the bank and then I ask them I use my history that I tell them to give my balance. I don't take the money because it's not mine. So they give me the coupon and I'm able to see that I have some money. Another time I go, I'm able to pick the balance, the chip, and I'm able to know that I have money. So I have checked about 3 times. I suppose there should be more. And
what have you done with this money? How much have you accrued in your account?
I think I should check. I haven't been able to check, but if it has to be 3 times as I picked, it would have been 1,006 plus. But I think there should be more. Because the recent, he told me that there was some money I should check, but I haven't checked that.
So have you cashed this money yet, or is still sitting in the account?
The money is not mine. I can't cash it, and it would have been appropriate, So what I did is that I wrote a letter to NSS. I'm so surprised at that institution. I sent them a mail and told them that this is what is happening. I wanted them to have a look at it. Nobody responded to it.
When did you send this letter to the NSS?
That was sometime January. Nobody responded to it. I drew you to the police. I had a friend who was a policeman, so he told me of the police CID who was based in Dansoman, but he lived just opposite to the Flagstaff or something. So I went there. And then I told her everything. It made me call this guy. The interaction was interesting. But, it was like, okay, you get a guy, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't want to be fronting. I didn't want to be getting too much involved. So I didn't have interest. I thought that the police would actually take it out, but he wasn't showing like that. I sent a mail to Yoko. I went and saw the boss. And I went there the second time. He gave me an investigator. Today, I haven't heard from the investigator.
When was the last time you heard from this investigator from Iyoko?
It must have been 1 month after, 1 month now. I went there and I told him everything. In fact, I gave them my statement, of complaint. I treated something and I gave it to them. So each and every time of our interaction that I have with this boy, this gentleman, I sent them copies. And gentleman, I sent him the copy, and he has everything. But there has not been any forthcoming with investigation or whatsoever. And I thought, well, this is the case. So I should let the media know. Because I thought I was using the structures. I was using the structures in place, but I'm not getting feedback.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on State of Affairs. You had me speak with a young man who claims to be receiving allowances from the NSS, although he is not undertaking any service at any institution at all. He mentions that he's received about 3 checks, although it's still sitting in his account and he hasn't cashed it yet. He says he's written letters to the National Service Secretariat. We have in the studio Nana Boache, the Deputy Director of the NSS. Nana, when you came into office, have you cited, he says he's written letters to your outfit?
Thank you very much, and then good evening to your viewers as well. I find this statement quite surprising. The reason is that first of all, I think by the end of my submission, then you understand where I'm coming from, especially reading this. And this is the first time I'm reading it.
Okay.
Now, the gentleman you just spoke to, I don't know him, but he made quite some interesting revelation. First of all, I find his article quite worrying, especially with the title, Unabated Corruption at NSS and the Public Purse. It is very unfortunate because, number one, we are trying to fight corruption. Don't forget, we were just hit by the ghost name scam.
Yeah, and the case is still in court.
It's still in court. Secondly, if you listen to his narration, it appears he says that there's somebody from the NSS, number one. Secondly, he said he's written to the NSS in January.
Yeah.
In fact, in January, the then acting executive director was not even in office. I have not cited...
Because it was the transition process.
It was the transition process. I have not even cited this letter he is speaking about. And we were appointed on the 6th of February. So I was thinking that it was only proper for him to have even prompted the new administration. Because we have the acting executive director in the person of Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, former MP. Myself, I'm the deputy executive director in charge of operations and programs. And then my sister, Dr. Gifty, in charge of finance and administration. I think it would have been fair, especially once you wanted to get to the bottom of this whole matter, to again, just alert the new administration.
Is it to say that for the new set of administrators, you haven't seen...
You know something? We went to Ejura 2 weeks ago, and then I was called by the Zongo police station. Apparently, some few young men, I mean, they were numbering about 6, they had been incarcerated at the Zongo police station, apparently for issues concerning the e-switch, because they had an e-switch machine. And then from what the inspector told me, the investigator told me, what they were doing is they approach people and then they tell you whether you are looking for jobs. And certainly, I mean, there's joblessness all over. So people are just eager. And then they come, they take your registration and they say, okay, you go and come. And then they take your fingerprint. And then they use that for the e-switch. That was the narration from the investigator. So they are still even before court. And we are aiding them, the NSS and then the e-switch. In fact, one of the main reasons why we even introduced the e-switch and we made it more, robust, is to get rid of this ghost name scandal. This ghost name issues here and there. So because this is a matter, I mean, pertaining to NSS. So but going through his narration, somebody calls you, the person don't know you from Adam, and then the person gets your number, the person calls you and the person says, I will be able to give you your money and your certificate. The person don't know you. And then you are saying that you are reported to the police. For me, I'm going to cross-check with the Dansoman police. I don't know whether you have called the Dansoman police. Because the gentleman mentioned 2 major institutions.
Yes.
The police service
and then Iyoko.
And then Iyoko
he
as
says
well.
The chief executive, Mr. KK Amwa, invited him for a brief conversation, but he has not heard from them since. Exactly.
So for me, I'm thinking that because he wants to help us get to the bottom of this, for me, this is premature for us to come out and then labeling the institution unabated corruption at NSS and the public purse.
That is his right.
That is his, yes, especially, and as I said, because we don't have time, when you go through what he's been, I mean, they are a bit inconsistent, and they are a bit, the issues he's raising, it could be, I'm not saying, but it may not even be emanating from NSS. That is even the more reason why, once he reported the matter to the police, and the FEDA also reported the matter to the Iyoko, at least for this particular article, it is premature. You should have just waited a bit. And especially when he has also not alerted us in the new administration.
He says he sent mails to the NSS. Your
Well,
mail
who?
is that info@nss.gov.gh. He sent several emails to that particular mail, but there hasn't been any response yet.
But that is the point. The point is that once you have a new administration in place, that is even more refreshing, because now you are talking about in January, where I'm very sure, I don't know whether even the new government had been sworn in then. But as I said, I was even appointed on the 6th of February, right? So at least once you know that there's even a new administration in place, it could probably engender some sort of, confidence in the new administration. So what did he do? Did he report the matter back to us again? I'm not sure, because I have not. This is the first time I'm cited this. Fine, as I said, we've had some few, allegations. You'll be then and you hear people collecting. I even released a statement last week, 2 weeks ago, that people have been putting out statement to the effect that they have, powers of deployment, such that if you pay X amount of money, then they can deploy you to your place of preference. And then I issued a statement to that effect. In fact, we are even collaborating with the police, because it's even a criminal offense to be extorting money from people. So, as I said, it is very good. I mean, this is a citizen's, responsibility. But then when you put it in the public domain, you are not even helping matters.
Well, for him, so far he hasn't had any positive response.
But that is what I gave you, because number one, if you have reported the matter to
from the police, for him, he's not seeing any action from the police.
And even more, when you consider the fact that you start your national service during August, and you are not contacted even before August, you are not contacted after August, September, October, November, and you were contacted somewhere in January. Well, it's even mind-boggling, because it means by which time you had already served for some time, and then you were already in the process of receiving your allowance already.
Well, no, I know people who are desperate, because then you need the NSS certificate for a job.
No, you don't get my point. My point is that for this person, he had already started. It is not as if you are not. Most people, for the things I've heard,
he hadn't even started the service yet.
No, he said in January. That is what he said. When you read, he said earlier in the month of January 2017, I had a call from a young man who, and 17.
Who asked whether he was undertaking it, and which he wasn't. So he wasn't sure the answer to give this person who called him.
No, is that what he said?
Yes.
No, he said earlier on this month, 2017, I had a call from a young man who addressed himself as a national service. He asked if I was undertaking my national service. I was evasive, since I didn't know whom he actually was and his intention. He then calmed me down and offered to help me to do
the service, and then have my certificate.
Exactly. So that is what I'm trying to say. But this date, it is within the service period, January 17th. It means you might have commenced your service, and then you had even served for about 4 months already, because you start.
But he didn't indicate that he has started. You are saying that the service year had started already.
Cannot even, yes, because you see, you cannot be contacted when you are not even on the system. You cannot be contacted when, number one, you have not been given an NSS pin, you don't have an e-switch, because you see, if you go through the procedure.
Well, people register, go through the procedure, but do not accept the postings, and
that
for
is
which
why
they do not undertake
now,
the
if
service.
you put out the date, and the date is January 2017, and then when you continue, it says that after the interaction continued, he appeared to be in the inner circle of the NSS database. His objective was simple: to facilitate process for me to get my allowance and certificate without undertaking my national service at all, through a dubious means, and share the monthly allowance. I did not give him a definite answer, but I told him I will get back to him. And then afterwards, he did not call, and the gentleman called again, and that was when he started receiving the money. When you start receiving your money, it means, number one, you have registered. Number two, you have been given an NSS pin. Number three, you have been deployed. Number four, you have registered at your place of deployment. Number five, you would have gone for an e-switch number. And number six, you would have received certain amount of monies already.
Now, let me pick Lawyer Malibe's thoughts on this. Indeed, this is your outfit, but he's here with us. Lawyer, going through this gentleman's letter, what comes to mind?
I'm surprised Nana is trying hard to discredit the man's story. I think that he should rather have an open mind and try to take on board the allegations here and assure the Ghanaian populace that as the Deputy National Service Coordinator, he will get to the bottom of this matter. I think that was how he should have gone about it. But to try to discredit the story, as if the young man has no point, is where I think is below the belt. Now, he just mentioned that he had cause to issue a public statement warning the public of some miscreants who are taking advantage and informing the population that they could help them get postings. And that was just recently. What shows that this is not the same group of people who are contacting this person? Because you have cause. And I don't think that you issue your statement out of the blue. You must have had some reasons. That's why you issued a statement. And probably some information came to you that people are doing this. And so, broadly speaking, you could have taken this on board and say that, look, yes, I have had cause to issue a statement, but I will factor this in.
I think what he's doing is asking some questions over the young man's allegations.
That's what I'm saying. There was no need asking those questions as if you want to discredit the guy's information.
But you are a lawyer.
Now,
number one, when you report a matter to the police, and then you further report the matter to Yoko, and then you come out, you are even discrediting the investigations.
So your challenge is with him
exactly,
coming
because
to the
I want
media.
to get to the bottom of this. And that is why I even said, number one, I know, but okay, you are being unfair.
Let me sip.
You're good. You are being unfair because, secondly, especially, I mentioned that even after we took office,
if you finish this, you can call me.
February 6th, then at least it is only fair that you also preempt the new administration so that we can take it on board. Okay. So once you have reported the matter to the police and then Yoko, at least you hold on. Maybe it's a syndicate. Maybe they have that intelligence. Maybe they want to really go deep into the whole matter.
Okay.
So you don't just report the matter. You said January 2017, probably reported in the second month. You don't just say that because you haven't heard from them, you are coming out of your own statement.
All right, we'll be speaking to people about issues of alleged corruption and these fraudulent activities at the National Service, Secretariat. So we'll hear from Lawyer Amaliba and then listen to the views we got from the public. Lawyer.
Now, this is a young man who, out of several people who have been roped into this scam, has decided that I will not be part of it. Don't forget that he indicated that the young man, the man who is connected to National Service and is working at the database, is indicating that there are several others who are enjoying what is happening.
Yes.
And this is a young man, who has said that, for me, I will not be part of this. Now, he doesn't only end there. I was going to take issue with him for just writing these things. I was going to say that, look, the Whistleblower Act protects him, and he could come under it, and then he should go to the appropriate quarters. Now, looking at what he has done, first, not in any order, he reported to the Dansoman police. That's a good step taken. We all know that we are enjoined by law to report crime. He's done that. He didn't end at that. He wanted some publicity because he wasn't getting results. He went to a radio station. Beyond that, he went to Yoko, and he has even reported this matter to the National Service Secretariat. The question I want to even ask is, what are the procedures when issues of this nature come? Because he said that he reported the matter to National Service Secretariat through their email. Their email. So who receives this email? Can he go back and find out on that day who received the email and what he did about it? I think that we should be commending this young man. For me, he should be getting closer to the young man and try to see how he can get to the bottom of this matter. It's a serious matter. We shouldn't take it lightly. This is a government that has promised it is going to fight corruption, and I expected that with all these complaints, he didn't need to be running around in circles shopping for places to report crime. I think that he should be commended. And once he is here, my colleague, he should assure us that he will deal with this matter. And that's how I think we should go about it.
I think going forward, we'll know how Nana wants to handle this issue. But as I mentioned earlier, we've been speaking to members of the public about some of these issues coming up, allegations of corruption and fraudulent activities at the National Service Secretariat.
They've been taking money. Some of them, I don't know if it's the executives or not, but they've been taking money. That one there, for sure, they've been taking. The last time I even checked, some were even taking 400 cedis. Others were taking 150.
It depends on where you want to do your service. Probably if you want to work in the Habo, Gapoha, for instance, you can see someone, then you pay for something, then you fit in there. Yeah, that's what I know. But you also go through the normal process, as in where you are being posted without paying anything. But if you want a particular place where you want to do your service, you can see these connection people, then pay for something, then you go through. Yes, I think so. Yes, I think it's corrupt.
With the NSS, we believe in the past. We believe people pay for postings, yes. But now since there is change in government, we are hoping everything will be free and fair.
Well, so there you have it. You are watching State of Affairs on GHOne TV. My name is Abena Owusu-Nyamiche. This program is brought to you by Cowbell Coffee, the original coffee milk drink. And Cowbell is the only coffee mix that contains real milk. We are having some here. We're enjoying our Cowbell. We'll be back after this break. Do stay.
Secure food supplement to improve urine flow in men. Yes, you're so frequently, no more straining in urination.
Some few months ago, life was very tough for me as a man. I had a problem with urine flow. The urine does not flow the way I wanted. My bladder is often not completely empty. Sometimes I just embarrass myself. Until I was introduced to ProstaCure from Medimosis Prostate Center.
ProstaCure from Medimosis Prostate Center is a well-formulated food supplement acclaimed worldwide to improve urine flow. Now available at all pharmacies, filling station shops and shopping centers nationwide. Contact the Tem, Accra and Kumasi branches with the numbers on your screen.
Visit our new branch in the AESL building, opposite Ministry of Roads and Transport, near Pension House, Accra.
ProstaCure food supplement improves urine flow in men.
Everybody drink our coffee, smile and have a sunshine day. Everybody do what you're doing, smile and have a sunshine day. Everybody do what you're doing, the smile will bring a sunshine day.
Drink up
the celebration, we're together, join your hands in harmony. Everybody do what you're doing, smile and have a sunshine day.
Everybody start every day with delicious, nutritious Cowbell coffee and have a sunshine day.
Everybody drink our coffee, smile and have a sunshine day. Woo!
We unite, we defy, we hope, we dream, we play. We are fire in our hearts.
Celebrate 60 years of independence with a Guinness or Sajafo. Grab a bottle and look under the ground for a chance to win one of over 1 million bottles. Taste the celebration with Guinness.
Madam Hisense, media sampa baby. Makasa na yetie. Say Hisense King Kong phone. Apa mo bibia. Your Hisense King Kong 1 and your Hisense King Kong 2 and your Hisense King Kong 3. Still, Hisense King Kong phone. Ensure you ensure here. Ensio tona se show bottom na de na mu a. Uni how enya hwe. Hisense King Kong battery check. Ne one day afe ena ne bo da form. Tutu kako Hisense showroom bia. Ne kwajo King Kong 1, 2 or 3. Madam Hisense, matete so mo say, who afa frey 0302 550000. Hisense, everyday prizes for everyday people.
Everybody drink our coffee, smile and have a sunshine day. Everybody do what you're doing, smile and have a sunshine day. Everybody do what you're doing, your smile will bring a sunshine day.
Drink up
the celebration, we're together, join your hands in harmony. Everybody, do what you're doing. Smile and have a sunshine day.
Everybody start every day with delicious, nutritious cowbell coffee and have a sunshine day.
Everybody, drink our coffee. Smile and have a sunshine day. Woo!
Sometimes the average John wants to feel good. Feeling good isn't about clothes or accessories. It's about looking clean. And there are some things that may help. Like this.
Style Up is specially made for men's hair, so it produces the curls that create a refined look all the time.
I wouldn't call it my secret, but I must admit, it works wonders. Hello, ladies.
Style Up with hair sculpting features, because a man's hair also needs care. Style Up, your hair, your style.
And you're welcome back to State of Affairs on GHOne TV. It is brought to you by Cowbell Coffee, the original coffee milk drink. Nana, I've seen you've enjoyed your Cowbell.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, yeah, I think yours is finished. You need a refill.
Yes.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about a young man who claims to have been a victim of fraudulent activities at the NSS. Nana, briefly, going forward, how would you tackle this issue?
No, number one, I'm not seeking to discredit the accounts of this young man. What I'm seeking to do is, number one, for me, I think how he went about it is wrong. Number one, once you have reported the matter to the police, that is even the first step.
Okay.
Now, secondly, as I said, once again the institution involved, that is NSS, at least you come to us, because once you have approached the police and then you have also gone to the YOCO yourself in person, you could have also come to us.
And so you want him to come to you?
Exactly. And for us, we are open.
Okay.
And because that is why I brought in the Zongo police station matter. And as I speak now, we have gotten our technical people from Eastwish and then our technical people from our own IT department aiding the police in that scam.
All right. After the program, we'll link you up to with the young man.
We are happy to uncover this thing. Because you see, and then finally, sometimes, you know, there are several institutions involved in NSS, especially with payment. We have Eastwish, we have even the banks, we have some other people. So sometimes, because of this particular article, you may even be targeting the wrong people. That is why it was even necessary for the person to have allowed the security agencies to go through.
Are you saying this person might not necessarily be a staff of the NSS?
Exactly. Because you may probably be targeting the wrong person, but because it involves, because you know the Youth Employment Agency scam that we talked about, it is the same process, the same Eastwish. Right? So if you are not very careful, that is the more reason why you should have allowed at least the security agencies to, you know, carry through before coming out of this statement. But nonetheless, we are open. In fact, that is the more reason why we are there. We are open to make sure that we nip this in the bud. And for us, you should just come. I mean, my office is open any day, any time. You should just come in and meet Nana Boachi, the Deputy Secretary Director. Or he can just write to us. If he doesn't want to meet me, he can just put in, you know, some of the evidence he gathered. He can just put in something and then just label it, get it to me in the office it will always be on my decks, and then I will take the appropriate actions on this.
All right, so we can now talk about our next issue.
You're not giving me 1 minute.
Your 1 minute. I thought you had sacrificed
Okay, I'll use
it.
30 seconds. The young man has already written. I expect him to go and retrieve that information and start working with it.
Okay.
It is not proper for the young man to meet his accusers face to face. I think that's what he's even hiding from.
Yeah.
So there's already enough information for him. I think Nana should be worried now, listening to this information that you have just played, where people are accusing the organization of acts of corruption. He should be worried now, and to begin to look at, if their board is in place, they should begin to look at how they can exorcise this ghost demon of. But you see, but again, I don't know. Investigations have not yet started, and I don't know whether the investigations would eventually lead to an appointee. But what is critical too is that you notice that the one at the center of this is a public servant. The database, that's why he mentioned. It's not. So our focus should not only be on government appointees, the technocrats. We should, because as we fight, we give way to the technocrats to do what they are doing.
Indeed.
So we should broaden the lens and ensure that both technocrats and politicians are put on the spotlight.
Lawyer, a lot has happened with Ibrahim Mahama within the past few days. We heard he was picked up by Yoko, and now the GRA has given him a 2-week ultimatum to settle the debts. I understand somewhere in the northern region there was some sort of a vigil for him. Some people think that he's been victimized because he's the brother of the former president.
I think that having Yoko to wade into this gives the whole investigation a political twist. Because in my candid opinion, the Yoko was not supposed to wade into this matter. When you look at what is happening, it's about alleged evasion of, you see, it's evasion of tax.
Okay.
That's the whole thing. Ibrahim Mahama did not clear goods with that checks. That's not the issue. It's about alleged evasion of tax. Under the GRA Act, that's Ghana Revenue Authority Act, there are procedures for how to deal with those matters. And the GRA has power to even prosecute. You know, if you evade, if you don't pay your Senate, they prosecute you via GRA. And so, why did Iyoko wade into it? Because for me, Iyoko's mandate ends at organized crime. And I had cause to look at what organized crime means. And this is it. Organized crime is a criminal activity that are planned or is planned and controlled by powerful groups and carried out on a large scale. How can just issuing a dad check amount to an act of organized crime? So it was unnecessary for him to come in, for them to come in.
Okay.
And that's why the commissioner of GRA indicated this morning that they did not invite Iyoko at all. That then raises suspicion of whether it was politically motivated. But we have heard their own man, their hatchet man, Ken Ajapong, indicate that he would ensure that they imprison him. This is an arrangement. It's a facility that is under the GRA Act, where large taxpayers are allowed to clear their goods, and then there's an arrangement for them to pay as and when the facility gives them the money into the system. So sometimes importers of rice, sometimes or oil or something, they are allowed to clear the goods into a bonded warehouse, and then they sell the goods whilst you have a commissioner, a custom officer monitoring and taking their taxes. So this were machinery imported to undertake government projects.
Yeah.
And the facility, which is available to all businessmen, not here alone, people are thinking that because he's the president's brother, that's why it was given. No, it's available. When you go to GRA Act 70, Section 73 or so, it's available. So he was allowed to clear the machinery, and the arrangement was that as and when government pays him, he would also give them their money, their tax. Now the question is, government failed? Why did government fail to continue to pay him his fees? This is where we are saying that this is what caused the inability to pay the tax.
So because government didn't pay
him because the arrangement was for,
he executed.
Yes, he was not also able to pay GRA. So this is where the question is, why did government fail to pay him? Else, if government had paid him, we wouldn't have been where we are. Because
that was the NDC government.
Both governments, both, up to now, he has not been paid. He's owed 28 million. What we are talking about is 12 million. So we are here because of government's inability to pay him for his work done. Now, is it a case that we are, because of the change of government, we are beginning to use the system to squeeze him or make him look bad? And this is a Ghanaian businessman. And so I think that rather than having Yoko coming in, this could have been dealt with by GRA itself. At best, it's a criminal act too, section 2 something or 3 something of the Criminal Offences Act also frowns upon issuance of that check. So this could have been handled by the police or the GRA itself.
And not Yoko coming
No, Yoko
in.
has no mandate there at all.
Is the MPP politically victimizing Ibrahim Mahama?
Well, I'm surprised how, I mean, a lawyer of his stature would say, I mean, he would just pick and choose. I mean, he just give a definition of organized crime, but he forgot about the economic aspect of it. The thing is Yoko, and this is an economic crime. Is it? And frankly speaking, I don't know why they want to just support an act of criminality. When you issue a that check, not once, not twice, 44 times.
Well, we don't know that yet.
Oh.
The GRA man, well, we had an interview with him on News Tonight, failed to confirm or deny the amount of checks involved. So we do not know whether it is 44 yet.
No, but the issue is this. Well, that is information we got from Yoko. And now we have our intel. 44 that checks. And you know what? What are you talking about?
They talk to you.
You know what? And this thing is in 2015. And I'm surprised about this whole issue about arrangement between Ibrahim Mahama and then the GRA. It is a lie. He should produce an arrangement because this is a huge transaction. If you are saying that, you know what, I will not pay my duties now simply because government is supposed to pay me this amount of money and I have this arrangement with you so that if government pays me then I'll come and pay you. There should be some sort of an arrangement. You are only being speculative that there was that arrangement. And you see, to the tune of 12.7 million Ghana cedis. And now you are telling us that you're going to pay. Do you know what? Do you know the signal? The signal out there is that, number one, if your brother had won the elections, you wouldn't have paid. Because of your leaving your own people, you are accusing you of impunity. Even your own people, the NDC people are saying that we lost these elections because of Ibrahim Mahama.
What has that got to do with payment of tax?
Oh, because of this impunity. Because of all this impunity, and then he's been moving around, he's arrogantly, posturing himself as if he's untouchable.
Have you dealt with him?
Oh, please, let me talk. You had your own time. As if he's untouchable. And sometimes, from the NDC themselves, when you go to the port, it's as if the port is his personal property. Ibrahim Mahama, Joint President Mahama, when you go there, it is as if it is his personal property.
So is it then right to say that he's now being targeted because his brother is no longer in power?
I mean, there are facts there. Number one, you have issued checks. It never cleared. You owe, from 2015 up to now. If he had any intentions of paying, trust me, he would have paid. Simply because his brother was the president. He was just waiting. Now we win the elections. And when we win, then we will not pay. That was the intention. And there are more to follow, not only him. There are more people. I'm telling you, they handled the port as if it was some chop-bar business they owe, and then it is their private thing. They do what they want. And I'm surprised.
Don't allow your program
to both of you have given me a different name.
Who are not on this program.
I beg you, I'm not running anybody down. I mean, I'm speaking to fact. I'm not running anybody down. I'm not running anybody down.
Well,
you started by being misinforming people. That Yoko, do you know what he said? He said Yoko has no money.
Let's hear from Lawyer Maliba.
I have indicated to you that
I even thought that this last minute was supposed to be mine. I'm surprised. Look, because he spoke for quite a long time. I sat here. I've not even spoken for even 1 minute, and then you are saying I'm going back to him again.
He wants to come in. Let's hear his rebuttal.
What is he coming to say?
It is not an allegation. I indicated that Section 73 of the GRA Act allows for that arrangement. And I am saying that...
Where is the evidence?
I have given you the evidence.
Where's the evidence? No, but I'm saying that when you go to the law, when the Act specifies a particular action, there should be evidence to prove that indeed there was that arrangement. That you know what, government owes me this X amount of money. And when I'm paid, and because I'm also a customer.
Did you listen to the GRA boss today?
No, you don't get my point.
The GRA boss indicated that there was nothing that required them to invite Yoko, and that they were capable of dealing with the matter.
GRA cannot say that Yoko doesn't have that money to investigate this matter. In fact, these two institutions,
did you hear them?
They are different. This is an economic crime. You cannot be issuing dark checks 44 times and be working free.
And so did the government invite Yoko into this?
The government, I mean, well, no. Yoko has his own mandate. He can invite you, he can call you for investigations, he can call you and then ask you the reasons why you have issued these checks 44 times and then it never cleared.
Look, there was no way Yoko would know what's
happening
at another place unless somebody petitions Yoko.
You know what?
Unless somebody petitions Yoko. It is the government of
it is a lie. You are a lawyer. Don't say that. No. This is a lie.
This?
Don't talk about Shraj.
We have a Japan say that
Yoko
he would ensure that he
can invite people if they so wish that you can aid a particular investigation. It is not Shraj. And you know, Shraj in any case, fine, the court said you must have received a complaint from. Exactly, so that maybe you are confusing it. What you are saying is that what you are saying is that Yoko cannot from his own authority invite persons to investigate.
But do you know whether Yoko was petitioned? Did someone alert Yoko?
They don't have to be petitioned.
Okay.
They can do that. I mean, once you are perpetrating fraud, and once you are perpetrating an economic crime.
So you are alleging that Ibrahim Mahama is perpetrating.
But it is clearly, the man, it is a tariff admission. He is saying that yes, indeed, I issued these checks, if I had been bounced, and indeed I'm going to pay, and they have calculated it, 12.17 million Ghana cedis he is paying. If your brother had won, you wouldn't have paid.
Our time is up.
This is the impunity we're living in. Ghanaians saved us from the grips of these vampires.
Have you seen what national service is having for you?
Saved us.
Have you seen what national service is having for you?
Saved us.
In your own quarters. Have you seen national service?
Even when you calculate the dates, it even started in President Mohammed time.
In your own quarters. See,
Ibrahim Mahama is one of the most vampires.
Can I sign out? Thank you very much, gentlemen. A lawyer, Ibrahim Mahama, is a member of the NDC legal team. And then Henry Nana Boache, it's enough. Thank you. Thank you. Lawyer, it's enough. Thank you. We'll continue the conversation another time. Thanks to Cowbell, the original coffee drink, for sponsoring State of Affairs. My name is Abena Osunya-Meche. Thank you for watching.
Right in front of you. You are paying people for supporting Ibrahim Mahama. You are Ibrahim Mahama will deal with you. He will deal with you. He will deal with you.
You have issued 44 damages.
That has not been proven. That has not been proven.
It has been proven.
By who? By who? By who?
By who? Wait. Very, very, very. You know the things that will be coming.
Close your show.
Okay. Coffee.